All right. Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm getting a thumbs up from my guy in the back room. So everybody can see me, everybody can hear me. Yes, no. I'm getting thumbs up in the back. All right. So I was having issues with my guest, so I'm gonna go ahead and just bring him in. Uh, New friend of mine, also from the Middle Tennessee area, up and coming YouTuber. He's actually far greater than I am at making the content videos themselves. He actually does it for a living, so you can tell by his professionalism. So let me go and bring in my friend Tyler, and on socials as Trippin Over Toys. Everybody, welcome Tyler.
Awesome. Thanks, man. What a honor.
I can
And
hear
great
you, so I
great
guess we
interest.
did have
Yeah.
to be live.
Yeah. We're all good now, man. No, but thank you and thanks for having me here to hang out with everybody. So and get to meet some of the folks that I've chatted with a little bit back and forth in the chats in the past. So
Certainly, certainly. Yeah, I want to go and bring you in. I know we kind of have a different plan in place, but with the tech issues we were kind of facing, I wanted to address that first, make sure everything's okay. So, but it seems everyone thinks okay. Let's go ahead and reach out to some of our guys in the comments here. We got Ranger Restoration Repair, Tech Gremlins, of course, yes.
yep, absolutely.
Uh,
Tech ones.
and I showed it on my button stuff. So Tyler, I wonder if my thing doesn't work and we was just having that issue. I'm just curious. I kind of want to try it out, but not at this moment.
Matt's got
Let's
some
see.
new gear to try out.
Yeah, I do. I'm kind of afraid to now. Well, I don't have it on me, but
Like mid show. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. All right. But yeah, if you see my Facebook, you see um, the little light that he sent me. Very nice. Definitely hit him up to if everybody wants one. He might be able to make something different. I don't know. I'm just going to put him on the spot and say he does. Then we got Wanda, faithful Wanda here, everybody's friend. Glad you can join us. Um, and you've lost a family member today. Want to
Oh
extend
man.
our grievances for that, and
Yeah.
you want everybody just kind of want us some extra love today. I know you said this one was kind of a close relative, so definitely reaching out for you today because I've recently lost someone as well. Then we go, guys just saying hi to each other. Then we got Josh. Thanks for joining in and just kind of telling me where I was wrong. The Real Life Perspective Show. What's up, man? Good to see you, buddy. Yes, sir. How was your vacation? Hopefully it was good for you. Um, Thank you for stopping in, hanging out with us. Let's see. It was definitely cool. Working on some new designs. So, yeah, see, I'm upcharging them. I will. No, upselling. Anyway, all right. So that's it for the comments for a moment. But yeah, Tyler, before we go into what we were going to just kind of talk about, and again, this is all open format. I'm not professional. I wing everything. Um, the thing I was going to do before I brought you in, but I want to make sure everything was okay. Um, I wanted to just tell everybody, hey, I'm sorry I haven't been putting much content out lately. Um, some may know, but some didn't. But my father-in-law was fighting cancer for the last 2.5, 3 years, and unfortunately, on Mother's Day, he passed. So that kind of put everything on hold and changing family dynamics. You know, I'm taking on more responsibilities with trying to help take care of their home and take care of my mother-in-law, make sure she's good. Um, but yeah, that's why I've been kind of quiet. You've been seeing me doing more on Instagram just because it's easier for me to grab pictures and post them on my phone while I'm at work. But actually sitting down and doing videos is kind of tough right now. Um, but with that being said, I'm trying to jump back into. I'm trying to get my brain back to some kind of content creation. Let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see, hear, touch, feel. I guess you can't feel me, but unless you want to, I don't know. Um, but yeah, just again, I'm sure I wasn't too missed, but that's the reason you guys haven't seen a lot of new stuff other than just kind of more of Instagram bombing than anything what I've done. So
Instagram's a
uh,
good platform though. It's a little easier to do.
for sure. All right, Tyler, do you want to kind of introduce yourself to the community here? This is kind of your first live. I mean, I
Yeah.
kind of small introduction, but I'll kind of give you the show here.
No, man. Yeah, another Middle Tennessee guy, right? Here with Matt. Growing up, being kind of a nerd and a geek wasn't the coolest thing, and so now I'm always really happy that it is. But no, I do content creation in a professional setting. And so I've kind of always wanted to bring that passion over to something that I really love. And as you can see, I certainly love Power Rangers. I love, you know, a lot of different things in the nerddom field and category. And yeah, you know, so I took a leap for it. And so I've really got to thank you. And, you know, if Daniel sees this, although, you know, indirectly we've interacted, just several folks who've, you know, influenced me over the years, even indirectly, that they didn't even really have a clue, right? And that's kind of the power of this. And even being able to really influence the, you know, the next person to come in, and you start building community with people. And that's been really the most fun part about finally stepping into this, is being able to build community with folks like yourself. And, you know, when we go to cons and you're shooting at cons, and, you know, you're getting a chance to really like highlight different activities and bring people there who aren't there. That's, you know, it's really why I love doing this. But yeah, it's kind of a new venture. Like you said, first live stream for me. So yeah.
Great. Yeah, great introduction. And one of the key factors when I started the channel is I wanted to bring the Middle Tennessee community together. And, you know, because I think we talked about it in my, where I grew up, it was kind of like shamed upon if you liked something that wasn't hunting, guns, fishing. You know, if you liked Power Rangers, if you liked Turtles, if you liked whatever you liked, it was kind of like, you like that? Kind of like stigma against it. So
Yeah, for sure.
and that's why I got this. And you know, you mentioned Daniel Lexi Nerd. We're both kind of watching his streams, and he connected you to me, and we kind of just went from there. And we've actually become really good buddies, and I've been thankful for that. And that's kind of the platform and what we're trying to do. And I just want to answer a few more comments here before we kind of jump into it. Understanding
Thanks,
life
y'all.
happens. Yeah, family first, yes, sir. It's been an adjustment. More live streams. We'll see.
More live streams. Yeah,
I have to have people to bounce off of. Me just talking by myself is just.
Well, I mean, that's when you get, you
crickets.
know, we'll nerd out on a topic, I'm sure, at some point. So,
Oh yeah.
you know, we got a hello there.
Oh, we got the Surgeon General Kenobi's bunker joining
You
us.
can't say, and you can't say it without saying hello there. You know, you always got to have.
That's why I wish my good mic was working.
Yeah.
All right. We got everybody saying hello to each other. Kenobi, more live stream. I can't keep up with you on live streams, Kenobi. I just can't. What's up? Everybody just kind of saying hi to each other. Great background, tripping over toys. Yep. He gets to show his off a little bit. I can show mine. Open mic nights. Yeah. I mean, even tonight, guys, if you want to join, just let me know. We kind of made up a subject, me and Tyler did, just to kind of talk about something we've done recently together. So, but yeah, if you want to jump in the conversation, let me know. Yeah, Tyler, come with lighting. I need your advice. More lights.
I mean, I've played with that for like with the lighting thing for so long, and you know, because I do videos and I'm on camera a lot. Generally, the background's blurred out because, you know, like when corporate America like sees, you know, all my nerdiness, you know, it's sometimes distracting from what the point of the conversation is, right? So, but yeah, thanks.
And corresponding guests like the stream. Yes, like if you're not a subscriber already, but I think all you guys are.
Yeah, please.
But also go over to Trippin Over Toys. If you, Tyler, if you can actually grab your link to your YouTube and post it, you should have that ability to do that and kind of put it in the highlights there where people can join and follow you.
Certainly will. Thanks. Appreciate anybody that wants to follow. Check out the content. I've only got a couple of videos up now. I've got a lot more on Instagram. That's kind of Matt's point. It's a little easier to move content through that platform, but more videos to come, right? Every con should definitely be a video, and then, you know, more to come from there.
Yeah,
I'll share that right now.
I've been hassling him about getting his Huntsville one because he's got way more footage than I do.
I you know, that's kind of the thing is I have 2 videos that's in the can, and one of the things that I sort of messed up on is, and this is a small thing, I think it's more my critique, anything just for myself, but is that I never like closed out the video. Like I introed the video and kind of, you know, had all the midsections of the video, and the intention was to like come home and, you know, debrief, if you will, and kind of be like, you know, here's what we got or found. Because I mean, the whole premise of tripping over toys or tripping over toys, you know, there's so many layers to it. We take a lot of road trips, we go a lot of places, and I can't go anywhere without trying to find like a local comic shop or a toy store. So, and I have so much junk around me too. It's like, you know, you're either tripping over toys, you're tripping over toys. So, you know, it's like big play on words. and names, but anyway, yeah, I'm trying to grab the link here. So
Yeah, that's fine. Just post it in the comments there, and anyone wants to follow, I'm sure he would appreciate that and help give some support.
yeah, you bet.
Um, all right, but yeah, I started kind of late, so let's kind of jump into it. First Comic Con that I went to this year, and I don't know if it was yours too. It was Huntsville Comic Con. Let's see.
Yeah, that was the first of the season. That's where we started it all this year.
Yeah, and it was big, and the thing I liked about it, they had it more smooth this year. Last year it was a chaotic thing of 2 hour wait times just to get checked in to go in, which was insane. But they figured out that problem, got it a lot more smooth this year. So
It was a good con, I have to say.
it
You're
was
I was surprised and for no, I guess, apparent reason. But I mean, you think like as you get into some of the more southern states, right? Like the cons wouldn't be the best, like, but that was a great convention.
for sure. And just kind of showing off some of my pictures here. Of course, I'm a big home improvement guy, and that's the main reason I went was to meet these two. And it was kind of surprising to me when got in. I went that Friday night, and they, just getting started. They had nobody in their lines. I was like, I expected long lines.
No,
Uh,
Oscar and Meredith from The Office, I was shocked that nobody was in their line.
really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could just walk right up to both of them. And yeah, I mean, there were a few. Now, however, the parents from Bluey, on the other hand, that was a
Oh
totally
yeah.
different story. Like they were lined up like down the entire back wall.
Oh yeah. I could see that one. And I got a story here. Let me go back to this picture. Uh, of course, when I first started the call, I went up to Davey's line. She's getting everything set up. I got her, and she's like, "You can do a together one with me and him. Um, doesn't help the price any, but you can get a together picture instead of just getting the two individuals." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." He was still having trouble getting set up, so I actually came back later in that show to talk to him. He's still lines still nothing. And I kind of stood to the side, talked to him. I went up to him and said, "Hey, I got to meet you earlier, but we didn't really get to have a conversation because, yeah, you're having the tech issues you were having. I was talking about the books and stuff. And what was funny is, and I think I told you a story about to everybody here. Dean Kane was running late. His line was no, he had a pretty good sized line going. He was like a couple of tables down from where Richard was. He came up right in between me and Richard, introduced himself to Richard Karn, and goes, "Hey, I'm Dean Kane." I'm like, and I'm just standing there. I'm like 2 feet in front of me is Superman, Dean Kane. I'm just like, they're just like, I'm Dean Kane. He's talking about how Richard threw out, I guess, some kind of ball first pitch yesterday, the day before at some kind of local event. And I'm just like, do I say hi? Do I just stand there? I think I'll just stand here. But yeah, I'm just absorbing that Dean Kane is 2 feet in front of me, even though I'm not in his line. And he just kind of interrupted me like a jerk. I'm just kidding. But I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna stand here.
There were great
But,
guests there. Yeah, great
yeah,
guests.
there's a lot of good guests.
I
Let's
have
see
to
what else.
say that Jonathan Frakes. I think I always mess people's names up, but basically Riker from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Dude is
Hmm.
super tall,
Yeah,
like
he is.
super
He was
tall.
at Methacon, however we say it, last year. He was like 2 tables over from where Walter was, and I was like, wow, dude's
Dude's
tall.
tall. Yeah.
Josh, my first con was Grand Rapids last November, and then April I went to Astronomicon, closer to short. My next con is November, Grand Rapids Con again. Okay, awesome. Hopefully that's some.
Sweet, man. There's nothing like getting the experience of the very first one. And then you get addicted to it. At least that was the case for me. So
Right. Ranger office. It's greater than Bluey.
yeah,
I
big
don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. Maybe greater than or equal to. And
I
Wanda.
haven't seen any Bluey. I don't have any kids that are in that age range, but I hear good things about it. I mean, I
I
don't.
hear good things. It's my little ones watched it. I just don't get it. I don't get. Everybody says it's good. Even their parents says it's good. I just don't get it. I want to say that, but a Kanye, but I have been to store signings. Well, that's okay. I actually prefer store signings because you're going to pay an entry fee and you give them more time. I feel like it's more personal when you go to a store signing. Okay. And of course, just going through the pictures here I have, there's Jen Taylor, the voice of Cortana, had her sign my figure. And Steve Downs, Master Chief. Of course, I had to see Johnny again. I saw him last year in Nashville. I had him sign my Zeo Ranger, but this time I had him sign my.
Great guy right there. Yeah.
Super nice guy.
Great guy.
He wrote the "I'm a Frog" there for no extra charge for me. Usually they charge you extra.
He signed 2 pictures for us for free. Yeah, just like.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. We weren't sure if it was a mistake, but at that point, you just roll with it,
For sure. All right. Real life. Following IG and
sweet
YouTube. Thanks for us all again building the community, man.
Yeah, thanks, Real Life.
Yeah, no problem. Real Life Perspective Show. I don't know if you follow him, Tyler, but he's real big about supporting other YouTubers and building the community. He's been real supportive of me. Pretty much likes everything I put up there. So been a real supportive guy, really nice guy. Anytime you have a chance to join a show with him, definitely do it.
That's great. We'll be sure to follow as well. Bluey is great. That's good.
I'm gonna need your man card. Low con now for the past 4 years. Okay, cool. Do they know? Have they announced any guests yet, Josh? Let us know. All right. So yeah, this is. Of course, he's gotten old. This has been 30 years, but this is Ernie Reyes Jr. Anyone watched Ninja Turtles 2 movie? He was Kino. I remembered his name. And,
Surf Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas. I actually picked a picture. It was the Surf Ninjas, and he wrote "1, 2, dude."
It's been so long since I've seen that movie. That's a worthy one to go back and check out.
I think I have it on DVD. I need to put it in something and watch it again. It's a great movie. Let's see more Tennessee. Agreed.
Yeah.
And I think some of you see my post the other day, just kind of reaching out to cons, trying to just build community together. Because anything I can do and using this platform just to help build it up, I'm definitely do.
So something I thought interesting actually about that comment. Hey, there he is. Nice shirt. But something actually interesting about that comment from Ranger Restoration, talking about wanting to see more cons. One of the things that I found interesting when we went to Nashville, so it's hard to find a good resource to that maps out all the cons. You can find a few sites that tried to collect, like where you can almost go state by state and it'll show you all the conventions. And so it's going to sound really dorky, but at the beginning of the year, I kind of go through and I try to pull up as many of the known or scheduled cons. And certainly there's the reoccurring ones, just so I can start getting an idea of when those cons are going to happen and I can schedule around them and things like that. But when we went to Nashville, what was interesting is I think there were 3 or 4 cons that I learned about just from that con. Because there's other people, there's a lot of smaller conventions that happen. And there were, this was one of the first years, I took the time to really go to almost every booth. And, there were several promoting other conventions. And, I see that a lot of times at cons, but in this case, I was shocked because they were somewhat local. There was another Chattanooga con that I'd never heard of. There was another Tennessee con I hadn't heard.
There's one West Tennessee or something.
Another one in West Tennessee.
And a lot of them were 1-day cons that they're kind of starting building up. So,
but if you're into that thing, that's go on a con road trip.
Exactly. Oh, for sure. So, who did you meet at Huntsville? I mean, I kind of showed my Huntsville. What was your Huntsville experience like?
The main guests that we met, I had to, there were a few of them actually, and I'm terrible with names. I can tell you who they were though, character wise. So, one of the ones that I remember for sure was Taylor. Last name is slipped me. I could probably Google it, but the voice actor for in Rebels for Jesus, I'm drawing a blank. The main guy. Come on, somebody help me here. Star Wars Rebel. The whole cast was there basically,
right?
And so Ezra, oh my gosh, my son would be killing me right now. Ezra Miller, yeah. So got to meet Ezra, and then the voice actor for Hera. Also D. Bradley Baker. I don't know how in the world I forgot that one. Taylor Gray. Thank you. D. Bradley Baker we met, and that one was actually probably the highlight of that entire trip. So if anybody watches Star Wars or is familiar with the great Captain Rex and or Bad Batch, right? I mean, he's voiced a lot of the different characters within the Star Wars, so he was cool, man. And he chit chat with you for a little bit too, which that whole group, they were just all very pleasant. And I think the last one was the guy that voices Trunks in Dragon Ball. I'm pretty sure Dragon Ball, I think Z. I'm not sure if it was Super, but one of the main series, he was one of the he was Trunks. So yeah,
Never watched it. Couldn't help you. I was trying to throw
I've seen
through
a little bit
the
of it.
guest list.
My son's the Dragon Ball guy. I can appreciate the artwork and everything that goes into it. And matter of fact, that was one of the things that Johnny Bosch signed. He voiced Broly in the Super Broly and in the Super series for Dragon Ball. And of course, I had Power Ranger stuff signed. So,
well, duh.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. He's more known for his anime than he is his Power Ranger stuff. So
a long list of stuff. I mean, he's got a pedigree for sure.
Oh yeah. All right, but yeah, definitely had a bunch of guests. I can only imagine what they're going to do next year. They've already announced next year.
Huntsville was nice how it was laid out. Just kind of picking on a couple of other pieces of Huntsville. You know, it's some of the cons are really weird when it comes to like where they put the celebrities and where like all the vendors are. And now it was highly chaotic, I have to say, because if you remember going down the little celebrity section, so like you walk into the con and as you imagine, it's a giant rectangle expo room, and you go like to the right and all the way basically to the back wall. And then they had all the celebrities sort of double, back and made a little aisle back there. And so the walkway became just so stuffed packed with people, like a sea of people. But the idea and the concept of how they had things sort of spread out with the celebrities and had the main vendor table set up, I thought was good. They just needed a little more space, which aren't they expanding?
I think they are. I think they are going to maybe take another area next year.
Yeah, I think because literally the guy that ran the con, I mean, he was everywhere. Yeah, I mean, he was very active, and which was nice to see. They had good crew, food was good, the location's great. So I mean, yeah, if you're anywhere near the Huntsville area, come that expo, I highly recommend it. It's a very good one.
And they've got the outside just really nice. A real nice park area. It's got like a little lake, man-made lake with all kinds of nice stuff. If anybody's ever near that area, definitely just check it out. It's really pretty.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Let's see what Josh had to say here. So I just saw someone on Squarebox from
It's amazing.
Missing. I'm glad you get it.
Yeah, no. So Reese, there may be at least some of the more modern. There's probably been several Dragon Ball cereals, but so like right now, if you go into the grocery store and you go to the cereal aisle, the Reese's or Reese's, I know that's a debated how you say that, but cereal, they have like this special Dragon Ball boxes, and they have like artwork on the back, and they have all these characters, so you can basically collect all of the boxes. And so needless to say, the hoarders we are for anything collectible is we have Reese's Dragon Ball boxes in my son's room.
Oh, nice. The closest Huntsville near me is a prison. Well, I'll get caught drinking and driving, and they won't put you there.
That's great.
One of which lives are in there. Who knows? All right. But any more last words for the Huntsville? I know that's kind of where you and I first actually met in person. It was nice.
That's actually a good talking point too. So that was really. So Matt and I actually got a chance to meet on. We were taking a trip out to. No, that was after Huntsville, I guess. The trip out to Gatlinburg, right?
No, that was before. That was before.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. You actually met me before the.
Yeah, it was just a quick interaction actually to get toys, to trade out toys. He had some stuff for me, I had some stuff for him, and we were on our way out to Gatlinburg for a little family vacation. And but Huntsville was really the first time we got to hang out and spend the day, at a con together. And two of us together are honestly probably pretty dangerous because we sort of enable each other. Like, yeah, man, that's great. Get that.
Yeah, I spent a lot more money there when you were there.
That tends to happen.
But I picked
But
up some good figures.
you did. You got actually some great figures. But it's cool to get to go hang out with a pal. It's something that me and my son's done a lot. If you watch the latest video that's on YouTube, where we go through the Nashville con, you'll see a lot of my son in there. It's definitely a good like father son, father daughter, mother. It's just good for parents and their kids. That really like to, find common ways to connect, because there's something there for really everyone, right? Like, I know we're not talking Fanboy Knoxville yet, but there's no better example of a con for everyone than Fanboy Knoxville.
Okay. Now I've actually never been at. If you want to go and talk about it, go for it, because I've never been.
Well,
to it.
I mean so just like pulling up real quick. Give me a second here. I knew I was going to want to pull this back up because I had this up earlier. But the guest list, like the celebrity guest list, just as an example.
I follow them on Insta, man.
Look,
it's
I mean, not only do you have like the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cast, with the exception of like some of the voice only actors, but you have like basically all the suit actors, the 4 suit actors, and a couple of them did voices for the character. Of course, like Corey Feldman did voices. Yeah, some other people do voices. But they will be there, that entire cast. You'll have Kevin Clash, who did Splinter, and Judith Hogue. You have James, I can't never say his name, Saito. He was Shredder. Robbie Wrist will be there. I mean, there's so many people from the Turtles, including Ernie Reyes Jr. is supposed to be there. So you've got like a huge Turtles thing. So if you're a Turtle fan, and then you've got some Lord of the Rings, some Harry Potter folks going to be there. Bonnie Wright, which was Ginny. David Winden, who was Faramir in the Lord of the Rings. You've got, your favorite Steve Urkel. Jaleel White's going to be there. Peter.
Yeah, I was like, now these are kind of just mixed in together, but we got Knoxville. Just look for the ones in Knoxville, and
there's
you're
so
in
many
Florida,
people, man. It's just insane. Yeah, you have to check
Jaleel White. Just so many.
Danny Glover, Rob Schneider, John Lovitz, Anthony Anderson, Adam Savage. I mean, it's just insane how many people are going to be there. And so that'll actually be one that my wife will join us to go to as well. Because, I mean, it's just
Anthony Anderson. I don't know,
huge con. Yeah, huge con.
I just hope they figure out I wasn't there, but I heard they had a lot of issues, especially with check-in on last year, like 2-3, like half the day waiting, trying to get in, and still couldn't get in.
I could see that. Yeah.
And it's July heat in Tennessee, so I'm hoping they get that resolved. I just heard that from another con owner when I talked to him in Huntsville. So, but yeah, definitely a lot of good ones there. I mean, the list is on and on of who's going to be there.
Yeah, Orlando is a good show too. I've never done Orlando, but that one's a good one. Gotcha.
Red Love Gun better for sure. Yeah. That's usually people around here. That's our go-to. It's a quick about a 3-hour drive, and you're in the mountains pretty good. So, Miss Josh. Love Gun used to stay with family vacation. Had 19 years in Starboard.
Well, I think Josh said he was from Michigan too, right? So that's quite the hike.
Yeah. So I don't think it's really changed much in 10 years, but maybe just more traffic. But yeah, Fanboy Expo. Then the next one on my agenda was, let me get back to my page, was the one we just did, which was Nashville Comic Con. Just throw the screen up. Nashville Comic Con. I think we both just went that Saturday. It's a Saturday Sunday con. Of course, the main reason I went was the 2 people I met. Which, let's see, is it here? Let me see where I posted it. So I know it. Oh, here we go. The Catherine, and of course, I had to cover my little girl's face. She's got to stay a secret. But yeah, it was really nice. I could smell the coffee on Michael's breath when he was there, because he's actually the one taking the selfies. Like, he'll take your phone, like he's the one doing like all these crazy selfies. And there's ones of him and my wife in there. I try to protect them as much as I can from this. on this platform. Of course, on my personal, you can see it all. But yeah, it was good. Just the interaction Catherine had with my little girl was
Dude, that was cool, man.
heart melting.
That was cool. Yeah.
She even we have a local shop here called Halo. They got one here in my local area, and they have one in Sparta. It's a faith-based T-shirt company. It's a family-owned, and they have a lot of nice shirts. My wife owns probably most of the inventory, and we brought Catherine one because she's a believer. She has her podcast with Kathy Cardenas. So yeah, it was nice, and what was funny, and I've told you this, but I'll tell everybody here who's listening. We were just kind of staying along. The lines weren't bad at all. We get in there, and even after the VIP's already been in there, there wasn't much of a line, and we get around to the front of the table for Catherine, and Catherine sees my little girl. She goes, "I remember you," because we just met her back in, I think, August at a store signing at the Hendersonville Replay Toys. And she's like, "I remember you." And so they just had the biggest interaction. And you can probably find it on Catherine's page. My little girl made her one of her posts. So
she did a big thing for your daughter. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. She gave her a picture, and that's what I was getting to. She gave her a picture and signed it, a really sweet message. So it was really nice. I framed it, and I printed out a little 4x4 picture of her, and I put it in there, and it's hanging in her room now. So,
dude, she is one of the sweetest people alive, Kat Sutherland. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I have watched a replay of a stream we did on Power Rangers Playback where, and I know the guy, he can drive you nuts, and she kind of just like, "I'm not answering that question again." The answer's like, she kind of laughed it off. It was like, she got tired of answering whatever that question was. Because apparently he kept asking her like over and over in all these streams. So it's like, I've seen her get a little rise out of her before, but that's probably been the only time. But I think it takes a lot. And what was really funny is when she's at the panel, she just kicked her shoes off. I said, "Yep, she's in Tennessee now, and she knows it."
Oh yeah, she
kicked her shoes off and
very
just got
comfortable. Comfy. Yeah, which I was pretty sure the host chair was gonna fall over. Like the thing was literally sitting on 3 legs. I mean, it looked cool, but that guy almost fell out of the seat many times. And he was somebody from comicbook.com. I feel like I should probably know who that guy was, but
Chris Killian. I mean, I don't know who he is, but he called me out because I wasn't laughing or something. He seemed like, "Dude, I'm tired. I just don't want to do it." But yeah, it was really good. And one more last thing with the people I met with Michael, it's like here's this table, here's where the line's kind of snaking around. He sees my little girl back here. He's like, "She's just the cutest little thing." Like ignoring the person he's talking to, and just looks at my daughter. I'm like, I'm not trying to draw attention to her.
Out like this, Like,
oh no, she's like, stop.
Oh, she was soaking it up. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then we get around, where we actually get to the handler, and he just looking at her again. It was just hilarious. And then of course when I get to him, he's taking pictures. I can smell the coffee on his breath. Like, yeah, he's like super energized. I guess he was kind of late that day. I think he was like 30 minutes late.
Mm-hmm.
He was like hopped up on coffee and cocaine. I don't know. But he was super nice guy. He was, but yeah, and I mean, I'll let you kind of step in and talk about your experience there for Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, as far as just guests, since we were talking about guests first, we met a couple of really awesome people. I mean, obviously, Kat, we had an opportunity to really just like talk to her. By the end of the con, I mean, it was cleared out. I mean, I think the con started at maybe 10 and ended at 6, and we left maybe like 5:30, and the autograph area completely cleared out. So met Kat, talked with her as far as like autographs and things along that line. We met Kat Tabor. Kat Tabor plays Padme in the Clone Wars, all the Clone Wars series. And she is also in one of the Walking Dead series, the World Beyond, I believe might be something like that. It was one of the later series that followed like the kids. But she was a doll. She was such a sweetheart, so nice. You know, again, just kind of like Cat Sutherland would just have a good conversation, very engaging. There wasn't like a line of people, you know, it was very slow. And then we met James Arnold Taylor, which that name, if you don't know who that is, you definitely know his voice, especially, you know,
General Kenobi knows who that
I was
is,
going to
I
say General
guarantee.
Kenobi should definitely know who that is. But yeah, we got to meet James Arnold Taylor. He was awesome, top notch guy. Had a really like a whole sheet of characters that he played, and he would go through impressions on every single character from like Johnny Test to trying to think of some of the other like offhand really big ones, but lots of video game characters. But yeah, great guy, very nice. And you know, we stuck around, watched that panel. Another guy that I got to chat with was Ross, come on, from The Walking Dead, and Professor X on X-Men 97. Starts with an M. Told you I always forget people's names.
Yeah, there was a clip that circled uh, the. I think it was probably Facebook, maybe hit Instagram, where they were talking like doing their impressions like they were fighting over the bathroom stall or something. I don't know if you
Yeah,
seen
dude, I
that.
recorded that. Yeah,
Oh, did you?
it's in my vlog. Yeah. And matter of fact, I cut it into a little short and put it out as a reel. So it makes me wonder, like, who else put that out there? Because I put it out as a reel right after the con, and it was one of the most funny exchanges I've ever seen. Was
Oh, it was
basically
hilarious.
Professor X and Magneto doing improv as if they were, you know, in line at the bathroom at a convention. If that interests you, you can probably find the reel on my Instagram. But
Or
um,
Nashville Comic Con, I
or
think.
Nashville,
Either.
yeah, whoever is else is posting it. Yeah, just go to the Nashville Comic Con tag.
It's
Um,
hilarious.
it was really good, but he was very nice too. You know, had a chance to chit chat with him. He's a Roosevelt shirt guy. You know, he had a really cool X-Men shirt on, and you know, you'll get to notice if you know as you see me, I have a thing for fun shirts. But anyway, we had a chance to talk. Ross Marquand or something like that's his last
Yeah,
name.
some. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But that was the celebrity interactions. Yeah.
Right. I just wanted to say, MMPR. I believe this is Tanya, who's in the UK or Australia. She's on. She follows Legacy and is always on his streams. I know I'm probably wrong on that, but thank you for joining. I know I recognize your ID. Think your name's Tanya, so correct me if I'm wrong.
And good day to you.
But I know you're like 8 hours ahead. I think it's like late. I don't know. You may correct us there in the comments. But I recognize your name. I appreciate you joining. Um, and and I don't mean you talked about it when we were there, but the Nashville Comic Con felt off this year.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what the vibe, but it just felt off.
You know, there weren't a lot of people, which was interesting, like guests. There was really only one real spot of the day where I felt like it was semi busy, but you know, especially like coming off of the Huntsville con, you know, it's like I came home with like a truckload of stuff from the Huntsville
Hmm.
con. There were so many good booths, so much good stuff. I didn't feel that coming out of the Nashville con, honestly, like, and you know, 3D printing is cool, but like everything in that thing was just people selling 3D printed stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of just the arts and crafts. Like
A
there
lot of
wasn't
arts
like
and
what
crafts.
just
Yeah.
a small handful of like toy vendors, and they weren't even that great, to be
No.
honest.
I mean, I did
So
find a couple of good deals. Matter of fact, still got them. I still haven't even moved them from like a week or
good
two
job.
ago. They've sat right here on my desk. But probably the gem that I found was
Oh yeah, yeah, you told me.
the San Diego Comic Con battle damaged Super 7. And
Hmm.
I mean, the crazy thing is I got that and two other ones. It was basically get 3 reaction figures for $20, and that was one of them. And I mean, that thing alone is $20, if not more.
Hmm. All
So
day.
you know that we had a couple of cool finds like that. Kind of happened a little late in the day, but yeah, the vendors were a little off, and just the energy of the con, if that makes sense. Like it was just, I
And
just didn't feel that
to
energy.
their defense, it was raining that day, and it
It was a
was
rainy day.
and
Yeah.
the parking was atrocious. You had to park on the other side because it's at the Nashville Fairgrounds where the main parking is. And you have to walk all the way around to the side, and because last year it was right in front, but I think they kind of flipped it to put vendors and whatnot there to make it easier for them, which is understandable, but it just kind of stunk that you had to, especially on a rainy day, you had to walk, good
Well,
half
and you have,
mile just to get in.
Have cosplay and stuff like that, which honestly I didn't see a lot of cosplay. I mean, there were some good cosplay, but not like in past ones that I've been to con wise. But so I think that was kind of the energy too, because I mean, when the cosplay energy is high, I feel like that kind of brings a little more life to the con. Didn't get a lot of that. I don't know. There wasn't a lot of like hype. I remember last year, like even before you walked into the building, this year they only had like the Ecto 1 sitting out there, but in years, which is only the third one. I mean, I guess we do have to back up and preface, like this is only the third Nashville Comic Con. So they're not as well versed in doing these cons. So I don't I think that's important context, as they learn and then as they grow as a convention. It was still a wonderful con, and I know you guys had to leave a little early, but did you feel like you got to like see everything you wanted to? I mean, did you feel like, yeah, I did it, Nashville Comic Con in the box?
Yeah, I mean, it went to the point, my wife and daughter, they found a seat to sit down. And I just walked the halls of the vendor way just to make sure I didn't miss anything, And it's like I bought a shirt because I wanted the one. My wife and daughter bought one last year from the same shirt provider, and the only one they had was a different color. But I walked out with a shirt. That was pretty much it.
So the Nashville booth, that one
So
was
Nashville.
that one was they had some really great stuff. Definitely a shout out to So Nashville.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they make really good product. I mean, they wear that shirt all the time. It's still hanging strong. So
cool prints.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the combination of Jason Marsden not being the MC this year, they got started real late. Like I remember last year, they were advertising back in like November.
Yeah,
and gave discount codes.
Dude, Chuck Norris was there last year.
Yeah, I know. Like Wilfred L was the main reason I went. Of course, then Johnny Bosch was there.
Yep.
They offered promo codes up to a certain point.
Yep.
And but it's like I kept waiting. I was like, are they only going to have one this year? Then like when was it? February, maybe.
Yeah.
They finally started coming out. I was like, well, finally,
You had a lot of good people there last year. I met Bill Farmer, which is the voice of Goofy.
Of course.
So, oh man, like huge Goofy fan, and Bill was the coolest guy ever. Yeah. Very, very few people do I pay the premium to get the autograph and the picture. It's usually one or the other, And I had to have both of his. He's a legend for sure.
Yeah, it is Tanya, and she's from the future. So she's ahead of us. I think 8 or 12 hours. I can't remember. But again, thank you for joining.
Hopefully something good happens. Like if you've got some insider info on what's happening in the future, I'll take it.
Exactly. I need lotto numbers.
So let me ask you this about the con. What did your daughter think about the con?
She doesn't understand what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, she's 4. I mean, she met Catherine, and that was her interaction, and people loving on her. But as soon as we got there, she goes, "I'm ready to go home. I want to go home," which is, my wife and daughter and my mother-in-law, they took a little short trip to the beach. They left yesterday, got there yesterday evening. But my wife told me, she's grouchy. First thing she want to do is, I want to go home. I want to go home. Like after a 10-hour trip. So I told her, let her settle down for the night. And of course, when she's up this morning, she's loving it. She's loving the beach. So she doesn't travel well. She's like me. She'd rather just hurry up and be there.
Yeah. She had a second wind at one point, but
when people start bragging on her, she gets perked up.
So is she going to go to another one this year?
Yeah, and if we're done talking about Nashville, we'll move on talking about the next one you and I are fixing to attend in 9 days.
Coming right up.
Which everybody should know because I've been trying to advertise it like crazy.
My favorite con of the year really is.
We'll just use this picture.
And it's not just because of Power Rangers.
But it's mostly because of Power.
But it also helps. It also
Yeah.
helps.
Ranger Stop and Pop Comic Con. Yeah, my wife decided at the last minute because she kept going back and forth if she's going to go. She's not. She's got a cousin with 2 young kids around my daughter's age. That she's like, yeah, I'm going to go. And we'll spend time with them. But my daughter, she wants to meet Hunter Dino because she's super
That'd be a
Pink Ranger
solid. That'd be a solid meet, like person to
for
meet.
sure.
Yeah.
And
Amelia's character was always, like I liked Amelia's character.
and Catherine Sutherland is going to be there, so I'm sure she would like to see her again. What was interesting, and I don't know if I just read into this too much or not, but when I was talking to Catherine about it, I said, "Yeah, she wants to meet Hunter Dino. We plan on going, letting her meet her." She goes, "She does? Oh, really? I'm glad I know that." I'm like, "Okay, am I reading into this, or are you just what do you mean by that?" Oh man, I mean I didn't lead in too much into it, but it's like I'm glad I know that. I was like, what are you up to, woman? So we'll see what happens when we get there. Her little Dino Fury pink costume came today. She had one last week, but it was a size too big, so we'll see. Hopefully this one fits her a little better. She's already got a little plastic sword, hitting people with it.
She'll sleep in it.
Oh yeah, she'll like.
Yeah, she'll live in it.
She hates that the Pink Ranger became the Red Ranger.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Amelia struggled with that too for a little bit. I don't think she really like believed that she was the Red Ranger. She's like, I'm not pink, But yeah, no, it's going to be a great con. I mean, obviously you showed a huge list of people there, and there's a lot of folks even outside of the Power Ranger community. I mean, you saw Keenan, right, or Kel? No,
Kel Mitchell.
Yeah, Keenan Mitchell. Yeah, good Lord, I don't know how I got that
Kel
wrong.
Mitchell.
Yeah, Kel Mitchell. There you go. Yeah, Keenan's the other one on SNL.
Geez,
you can tell it's all the caffeine is wore completely out at this point. Just powered by hopes and dreams. But Rob Paulson is a really big one.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to meet him.
Yeah. I mean, and if you don't know who Rob Paulson is, I mean, just think he was one of the original voice actors of the '90s Ninja Turtles, Animaniacs. I think he was
Pinky from Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky and the Brain.
Hey, Brain, what gonna do tonight?
So many great
no, not that one.
Folks come to that con as well. But it's not really just the guests in that con that make it awesome. It's the like kind of like the environment, like the vibe is good, and they run a lot of like after hours things. I mean, it's basically like a 3-day slumber party in a hotel.
Right. Which is, this is going to be my first time attending, and you've been kind of talking to me how it's going to be, and I'm super excited about it. So I'm really
look at all these awesome people that's going to be there. I mean, and some that are pretty rare, like having James there's, that's pretty rare. There's Paul Freeman.
Yeah, Paul Freeman. Hopefully he doesn't cancel. He canceled last time in Orlando, so hopefully.
So the original Ivan News, and obviously he's been in tons of other movies and things as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had to go to last year. It was at a different hotel, and that was the first time I ever went to Ranger Stop. And the cool thing is, like, you check into the hotel, and you got a lot of like, especially like the out of town people who are coming in and doing the whole weekend. They're staying in the hotel, and the convention's in this hotel, and everybody's staying in the same hotel. So it's like the convention doesn't end, even though like the show ends at say like 6 o'clock at night, and they close the convention floor. There's like some sort of an after hours party or a VIP party or a dinner or a lip sync battle or, something that's going on till like 12 o'clock at night. And, and it's basically just, partying with the Power Rangers. That's the best way I can explain it.
Right. Yeah. I'm very excited. I confirmed again the other day that I did get approved for a media pass. So I will be, I'll be running around there, not only with my ticket but also media. So I'll be glad to kind of be able to do that and learn and see that side of things.
Yeah. Who are you looking forward to, interviewing, or what are you really looking forward to do with that?
I don't know. I've prepared, I think almost everybody. I've been doing it for, over 2 months when I first found out I was going to. I don't have anyone in particular I want to per se. It's just I'm preparing for all and hope, thinking for none, but hoping for all. Um, but yeah, anybody that wants to talk, Brandon Miha, I think, is it Miha? Miha? I don't remember how to say his last name correctly. But
Mahaya, Mejia, maybe.
yeah, he's
I
probably
mess it up every time too.
yeah, yeah. But he's just like he seems like a cool dude. Not only
He's very cool, dude.
like super nerd,
Our friend
super
Drew.
fit, but super nerd.
Oh, dude, yeah, I mean, incredibly fit. Like this guy, I think he does like Cirque du Soleil performing and things as well. But our friend Drew, who was with him in Orlando at the Ranger Stop Orlando as his guest handler, and I mean, he spoke very highly of Brandon, and which is always what you want to hear, right? Like you get to learn that these people are like normal, regular, and honestly, the majority of that base, they're really good people.
Yeah,
right? Like
there's
just
some that are just kind of
there's some that are a little wishy-washy and iffy, So
yeah.
we're not talking about them. We don't talk about Bruno. Right
We don't let the one ruin the multiple. So, but yeah, um, yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm looking forward to it and see how my
now.
daughter
Man, so
interacts meeting.
I'm very excited. I'll actually be a volunteer this year. So I loved it so much last year that I decided I was going to go volunteer my weekend and work this con. And I'm super excited to get to go be a part of this convention and, help, not just be a part of it, but bring like the best experience to a guest. I think that is so important. And you see cons that do that really well, where the people that are there really care about the success of the con and the experience of the people. And I think that's really what lights the place up,
And you save a bunch of money that way because you're not buying anything.
Oh, dude, things will get bought. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Who knows? And I may do that in the future, but this was going to be my first time I wanted to go
Oh, you need to go as a guest, definitely.
as a guest and kind of see.
Oh yeah, Blake there. Yeah.
Yeah, Blake. Let's see. I think Blake is coming to a store sign or something local to Wanda, so she's hoping to meet him. Hopefully, you do.
Well, that's cool, Wanda.
Kick him in the shin just for the heck of it.
I hear he's a pretty nice guy. He seems to be really ramping up his MMA kind of career these days. Which, I mean, I've watched. If you watch any of his fights, he's pretty legit.
He's a beast. Yeah.
That's all I want to say. Goofy seems like a great guy. Yeah, he is a great guy. I mean, Bill Farmer is Goofy. Goofy is Bill Farmer. Like
it's just crazy when you see that voice come out of that face. It's like, wow.
Oh, it's amazing. And well, one of the coolest ones was getting to meet Tony Anselmo, who is the voice behind Donald Duck. Oh, like and that voice is very technical voice to do. It's very hard. There's really he has an apprentice that does some voice work as well as Donald, but that was I don't know why I'm so drawn necessarily to like the voice acting side of it, just because I think there's just the mystique of a long time ago you never really knew who those actors were. You just knew the voice, and that was kind of the point, right? Is that unfortunately don't get me wrong, love Chris Pratt, but he is Mario and Garfield. Like you can't just listen to those characters necessarily and be like, it's Chris Pratt. It's not Mario or Garfield or any of those. And again, though I love Chris Pratt. So whenever he watches this live stream, just know Chris Pratt, we're cool.
Send us movie tickets.
Yeah.
Let's see. He's the only ranger to go for Supercon that I know of. Yeah. Who knows? We only had the one here in Nashville.
Is that going to be Wanda's first convention? Because didn't she say she hadn't been to a con?
Probably. I mean, she can tell us here in just a second if
Yeah.
that's the case. Is this going to be your first actual con if you get to go? I know you have concerns about getting off work. You work retail, which I've done that for the majority of my life.
Yeah.
I know it's not easy.
Yep. And the hours are all over the place for
Working
sure.
all the holidays.
I hope you're nice to your retail people. I try to always be very nice to those folks. If you've ever had to work in that field, you know that it can. The worst thing is a rude customer. I'd rather stick pins and needles in my finger than deal with rude people.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Gotcha. All right. Well, one thing I did want to mention, I don't know if we only got a few watching. If anyone is wanting to go to Ranger Stop, thanks to my lady Kat, who is now part of Legacy of the Nerds media personnel, she has sent me tickets that were given to her, and because she lives in California, she's not going. But I do have an extra pair of weekend passes for Ranger Stop and Pop. If anyone's here's to watching, or if you're watching this on the replay, it is next week. So either I can try to, if anyone needs it, I would like to just go and give it out as a pair. Just let me know I want to know if anyone's actually serious about going. I'll definitely be glad to get those to you. I want to make sure they get used, and just either DM me on Instagram or shoot me an email at mintngeek@gmail.com, and we'll either try to work out if I have time to mail it to you, or if we'll just try to have to meet up at the con itself and me hand them off to you. But yeah, anyone, again, that's just one pair. I'd like to give that as just two pairs, two tickets. I'd like to get that in somebody's hands if at all possible. So, thanks for offering that. Yeah, no doubt. You know, these were free tickets from her. She sent them to me. Who's on your shirt? Oh, they're asking what's on your shirt.
Oh, okay. Let's see. We've got Red Ranger fighting Eye Guy. Let's see, where's he at? He's on this side. Everything's like backwards on the camera. We've got Red Ranger fighting Eye Guy. All right.
That's the Roosevelt Power Ranger shirt.
This is the Roosevelt's Power Ranger shirt. You got it. We've got basically several of the core like OG villains fighting the original 5. There's no Green Ranger on this one, sadly. But yeah, love this. If you guys like cool shirts, check out Roosevelt's RSVLTS. They have 3 Power Ranger shirts currently, and they just recently released that line. I always dreamed of the day that it happened, and the day they went on sale, I was like, yeah, I gotta get the shirt. So but thanks, yeah.
Yeah, Real Show asking nice. Do you guys have some favorite monsters from Power Rangers? Pudgy Pig.
Pudgy Pig's been always one of my favorites. I think I've got just about anything and everything I can find Pudgy Pigs. So, yeah.
I don't necessarily have a favorite monster. I have more of the main cast villains, like Rito Revolto. I wouldn't consider him a monster. I consider him more of a general. But, Rito Revolto was always one of my favorites. What about you guys? Who was your favorite monster from Power Rangers, if you have one, or favorite general one?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be just him and PR. Like, obviously, there's really good villains.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't. Like, you can name, Divatox. She was great.
Man,
Diva La Diva.
Yeah, that was an interesting villain. It was kind of like this love-hate with Divatox. Like, she's so obnoxious, but she does her role well, I guess. It fills her role well. The actress that plays her, she's
Hillary
crazy.
Shepard, I believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love following her posts and stuff because she really made that role very well. Which I know there's like a bunch of interesting stuff with, the original one in the role versus not. They had like 2 different people in the role.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know the story, but Hillary Shepard was actually pregnant.
That's right. She was
during the making of the Turbo movie. And when the series started, another lady stepped in, and I can't recall her name, which, again, they look very similar. So,
yeah, they do.
As a kid, you didn't know the difference. Elgar, yes. Elgar. That's a great one, too, because he was also in space. But then I think it was when they renamed the second part of the Turbo series, Hillary Shepard came back, and, of course, you just know the difference. She definitely brought more life and energy into that character.
Man, Elgar, wow, that's good. That's real
Elgar,
good.
That's a different one. Even when he went in space, it was funny. Elgar reminded me a lot of Rito Revolto, just that comedic.
They were very similar characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm in Lost Galaxy right now, so I'm trying to get adjusted to the new, so because I'm kind of going back, and I've watched like various series, but I've never like gone back and like kind of filled some gaps between really like Zeo, the end of Zeo, like all the way through. I certainly up to like Wild Force, like that's a whole blank period for me.
Yeah, I
That
about fell on the floor when you told me at Nashville Comic Con you hadn't watched Time Force.
I haven't watched Time Force. I
I was like,
cannot
what?
wait to get the Time Force. Yeah. I just missed a lot of those as a kid growing up. I mean, the end of the Zeo era was kind of where I fell off. And really it wasn't until, let's see, it would have been Dino Thunder where Tommy came back.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Was
outside of
that
that, I
when?
didn't pick back up until Super Samurai Megaforce when my son got old enough to start getting into it, which is interesting because there's a lot of like Neo Saban haters out there. And I mean, and I get it, I understand, some of the components of it. But I mean, realistically, they were not bad shows. Like the actors were good, the casting was pretty good. There's some questionable decisions made in writing, yes. But it
That's in
kind
a
of
kid's
got me
show.
back into it. And then we watched a lot of the Power Rangers after that. So like Ninja Steel, Super Ninja Steel.
Yeah, I feel like Samurai was like another generation's MMPR.
It all started over. Yeah, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like for my son, it was very much, he had the same experience with Samurai Megaforce and all the Super and all through that I had with MMPR. And obviously he got to see MMPR as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a lot of fun, honestly, to go back and I mean, I really feel like I missed out on a lot of really good shows. And honestly, In Space, I loved In Space. Like,
Oh yeah, In Space is still one of my top 5.
oh, it was so good. It was so good.
Just the
Yeah.
story and the B story that kind of fell along throughout the whole season, and it was
So
good.
it's kind of cool because it's like I still get to experience Power Rangers as like a fresh fan because there's still so many seasons I've never seen. Um, so I just kind of space it out, and it's like, hey, if I keep watching it from now until I'm like 55, we can just space it all out between then and
Oh, I like binge watched it over the last few months, and I think it's how my daughter got into it.
it's been Fallout these days. I'm finally finishing up Fallout, so
I hadn't even
um,
started. I want to start the Acolytes,
the Acolyte. Yep.
Acolytes, but I need somebody to tell me what it's about.
Yeah, that's probably for a whole nother live stream.
That's where we get General Kenobi to kind of fill us in
there's
on what we don't know.
there's
Cause
so much
I like Star Wars, but I just don't know enough about the world of Star Wars to know where this is in that world.
it's in the very near the beginning, like of the story. It goes back like in the High Republic. So it's way back into the storyline. So there's not a lot of it that's super. There's probably components of it that are familiar and lead into things that become down the road. But I haven't watched it yet either. I know there's a ton of mixed reviews on it. I'll watch things for myself and kind of review it. How I feel, but I'm looking at the big things, right? Like, how is the actual story? Does this feel like Star Wars? And honestly, a lot of the things, they just don't necessarily feel Star Warsy, and I get that. It can't always stay the same, but that's why I say that's like a whole Star Wars chat's like a whole nother live stream. Yeah.
Right. Now, since Legacy did kind of bring us together in a sense by following stream, I did want to shout out something he's got going on, even though he's not here. On the 16th of this month, there's going to be a special live stream with Tammy Frank, and there's going to be, and I think they kind of already announced it today on his post. It may be part of that, but I'm not sure. Maybe something else. But there's supposed to be some kind of special announcement. We don't talk about this. Just trying to give him a little shout out. I plan on being there. Just attending and kind of
Oh,
helping
that's
him
going to be a
out.
fun call. It could
Yeah.
get very spicy, so
Yeah, we hope that's not the case. But again, if you follow Legacy and Nerd, June the 16th, there is going to be Tammy Frank's scheduled to come on and talk. So definitely want to support the Frank family in any way we can.
Of course. Yep.
Um,
Yeah, tell us
we
about
don't.
meeting Jenna. Did you ever talk about
Oh,
that, or it's not
I
exactly a
don't think
con,
I.
but you know.
Well, no, no, no. I posted about it, but I didn't actually. We don't talk about new Star Wars right now.
No, that's right. We don't talk about new Star Wars, Bruno.
We don't talk about Star Wars.
Oh,
No,
oh,
no.
oh.
Um, there's a long day. I'll break out the song. I don't care. Uh,
Yeah, caffeine's
I
gone at this point.
I have no caffeine. I'm just running on pure adrenaline. Gina was a sweetheart. It was about a 2.5, 3 hour drive ish to the convention or the store she was at. I'm trying to get to my post here where I can kind of highlight. But the thing I really liked about her is she took her time with everybody. She actually had an engaging conversation, gave you a lot of hugs. As soon as you walk up to her, before you even talk about money or anything from a handler, she's just giving you a hug and meeting you and asking how your mental health is, which is really great. Um, let's see here. I'll show this one real quick. But I did have her sign my Legend of White Dragon figure because it just came in that Wednesday, and I went and seen her that Saturday, and she hadn't even seen this yet in person when it came out. She hadn't even gotten hers. So she actually took the time and looked at it, took all kinds of pictures. I'm surprised she didn't post about it. She took all kinds of pictures and took video with me of it.
Pretty cool. That's
But
awesome.
I had her sign it. She said, "Listen, I've not signed one yet." I said, "Well, you signed in, number one, that way I can just say, this was the first one she ever signed."
Wow.
That's why you see that number one there. But yeah, she was a sweetheart, and of course I didn't post the pictures good. Um, but yeah, she was a real sweetheart. Really engaging, really talkative. You know, one thing I did give her a little gift. It's a little thing, like I don't even know what you call it, but in it it's like a little ball of sand, and it um, had like three different colors. Well, someone gave this to me. It's basically a representation when you lose somebody, uh, the grieving process. As you grieve, it has a little thing in it talking about it. You kind of just let a little out. Then, as you're letting out, your grief is losing. It's not. It's just. It's a little tool to help you for grief. A friend of mine gave it to me when my dad passed, and I wasn't that close to him. He was in. That's another story, but he had a lot of medical issues, so he was sad to say, but he was kind of better off when he passed. He was no longer in pain and dealing with the issues he was doing. But I brought this to her, and I hadn't looked at it since I got it, which was almost 5 years ago. Um, and she looked at it, and it had his colors. It had white, black, and I want to say green. Had those colors in the bottle. I was
That's
like,
amazing.
dude, that's freaky.
That is amazing.
So I was like, I feel like I was holding on to this for you to have. Well, yeah, I did terrible at posting the pictures, but yeah.
Couldn't get a
Uh,
photographer to follow you around, start taking
well,
pictures.
Instagram is weird. They don't post the pictures like they should. You have to like adjust them, or if they're too big, they don't post right. So I'm still learning about that.
It's cool person to me. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the conversation with Tammy. Sky was at the Ranger stop last year, and again, I know that's a whole nother bag of worms, but
Mm-hmm.
my interaction with her was great. Her interaction with my son was fantastic. And I mean, dang it, she looks like her dad. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's like startling crazy. And I hope that whole family the best. It was really, and I think there's so many people that can say this, at this point with the passing of JDF is, there were a lot of people who were like fringe fans, and you either, when that happened, it kind of brought me back right into the fandom for sure, because
Same.
I realized that I never got to meet him, and the guy was literally in my town like a month before he passed, and
He was in Knoxville 2 years ago.
yeah, I mean, I didn't know this, right, because I wasn't dialed in at the time, and
Same.
so he was here, and I would have had an opportunity to, And he even signed some merch in that store. It was in a comic shop, and I like went back and forth with myself over wanting to buy. I was like, hey, how do they have a JDF signed pop here in the store? Well, little did I know he signed a pop in the store, and they were selling it. And it was only like $100 at the time, which would have been a steal now. Anyway, that kind of kicked me into gear to say, hey, look, it'd be really cool to go meet a lot of these, I'm not gonna say heroes per se. I mean, it's a strong word, but folks who really hold a lot of importance to me and from my childhood that would just be cool to meet and just to say, I mean, thanks is a little weird maybe, but it's kind of like, man, like, when things were really tough, I mean, these stories that I had were some of the only things that I had sometimes to get through things, as a kid. And, you get to experience that with your kid as you're seeing, right? And it kind of revitalizes and it rebuilds. It's just like, I really wanted to get a chance to meet these folks and get out there.
Same. That was the same for me when he passed. I started getting more back into collecting. I was only going to do this, then I collected more, and it was like, man, just stockpiled. And
nobody's keeping count, man.
Oh, my wife is.
She probably, mine too, probably.
But yeah, it's just crazy. I think he was in Huntsville 2 or 3 years ago, Huntsville Comic Con. He's been at that toy store where Jenna was. That's how she had the connection.
Oh, nice.
Like he's been here. These people have been around, and I didn't know because I wasn't dialed in to know there's actually conventions around me. I'm from a small town that didn't even have a comic book store, so I didn't think. I think everything's out of big, big cities like California and stuff. Didn't know 3-hour drive in Huntsville. I can meet. My first Comic Con last year, I met David Ghost and Amy Jo Johnson.
Yeah,
3-hour drive.
And that was it. That's all it took.
That was it. That's all it took. And hours of waiting, but but
now you've got some sort of memento probably around you, right? That helps you remember that moment.
Yeah. The Pink Ranger stay in my daughter's room. She's Pink Ranger crazy. She'd kill me if I take them out.
Those are hers.
For sure. Let's see what Real Life said. You're right there on chosen special on the stories characters that helps us shape the kid. Good health we are today. Pretty much.
That's right. My theme song should be the Toys R Us theme song, basically. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I think that's actually another like kind of controversial conversation in our field, right? Is like a lot of us who are attached to these things from childhood and things, but it's like, hey, man, I get my crap done, right? I get all my other life stuff done. This is my way to escape, all the craziness that's going on in life, and to, hang on to something that really made you really happy. So
I tell my wife these are investments because I can turn around and sell it and get majority of my money back.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I love the people that I get to meet. I mean, at cons, I always leave a con with a new friend, generally. Somebody you're standing in line with, or just, somebody that you see something they're wearing and you compliment and you pass them again and then you pass them another time. Right. And then, it's such a wide range of people. I feel like it's the one place where everybody can put down their BS and just go have a good time. Right. And, get lost for a moment in the fandom. And
or forget you're in the celebrity zone. You got to turn your camera off.
Oh no, don't tell me that. Yeah, no. Yeah. Well, okay. So talking about going back to Huntsville, right? Like I filmed all the way through the celebrity area in Huntsville and never once like got stopped. And, it's almost impossible to control. I mean, I'm not going up to somebody's booth and pointing a camera in their face, right? Like that's not the thing. But I'm walking through the celebrity area in the kind of general vicinity, these people are going to show up in my shot, but, I enjoyed that with Huntsville personally, because I was able to like walk through and kind of tour and be like, hey, there's so-and-so and so-and-so.
And I think there's so many people there at Huntsville that they can't control that.
They can't. And there are things like in Nashville. So like I walk into the little area, I'm filming, and I get stopped, and they were all very nice, like very, very, very nice about it. But
because you were recording me at
that was after I got in trouble already, actually. So I would already gotten in trouble. And then so I'm standing over. There were 3 tables kind of beside each other.
Yeah.
It was Pat Tabor, James, and then Michael Rosenbaum. And so I'm in James Taylor's line, and Matt's over there in Mike's line. And so I'm trying to like take a picture of Matt, you know, in line. I didn't even get Michael in the picture. I was just a picture of Matt and his family in the line. And the lady was like, "Hey, sir, you can't." I was like, "Oh, it's just taking a picture of my friend over there. Like the guy's not in the shot." And anyway, so after that, I kind of tried to make sure to keep the camera and stuff down because I don't want to cause any kind of issues. But everybody was at least nice. So
yeah. I just thought it was funny because even in your footage, you walk right past the 2 yellow signs that says no.
And I cut it. If you notice, like I cut it. I don't, I at least wanted to be respectful in case, because I did tag Nashville Comic-Con in the video. So, just in case, they had strict contracts with their guests about it. So, one of the guests could have gotten upset, like one of the celebrities could have gotten upset and made a stink about it, if the con allowed it to go through there. So it's like, I get it. And, but hey, play dumb, ask for forgiveness. That's
ask for forgiveness and permission. That's my motto.
Yeah.
Still no current story. We already paid for price submission, which will cover the
right. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, and it's all just promotion for them.
What am I going to do with a video of them? It's like, okay. And the other good example, I can film the panels.
Yeah. I mean, you were sitting there doing it and nobody said a word.
I mean, I can film the panels, but I can't like film them signing things. It's like, I don't get it. But a lot of the guests are really cool. I've learned just to ask them. For instance, the guy that the voice actor that did Trunks that we met in Huntsville, he was great, right? Like he was already super playful. We were actually at the front of the line because he was
Taylor.
What's that?
Was that Taylor?
No, his name
I know
Chris or something like that, maybe. But I could be wrong. But anyway, yeah, he was super nice dude. For front of the line, I asked him. He saw I had my rig and stuff, like my camera rig and things, and dude, he didn't care. He was like, "Yeah, film away." And so, like, I filmed the interaction with him and my son, and I filmed him signing my son's stuff, And I see stuff like that all the time online, and it's like
there's some artists that just don't like it. Like, I didn't know this last year because there was a guy in front of me when we was going through David Yost's line. He had a GoPro and had a little microphone.
Oh, don't do it to David Yost.
And I get up there. I said, "Hey, my relative, my wife's relative was with me." I said, "Hey, record me, just up here." And she's sitting there recording. He goes, "Are you recording?" I'm like, "Oh, And I felt bad because I didn't know. It was my first con. Didn't know the rules. She ended up deleting it. We kept our word. We deleted it. But it's like
Walter nor David will generally allow it. Yeah. A couple of people, I saw several people get in trouble at Ranger Stop last year. And I was just walking through the floor because like all the tables were around the outside of the room. And then all of the vendors were in the middle of the room. So if you're going through like recording the vendors, yeah, you're going to see the guests, And a matter of fact, like I would walk through like nonchalantly, like holding my phone like this, like do, and I, then kind of film everybody around the room. But, I'd probably surprised I didn't get myself kicked out. But what are you going to do? It's like you said, like I think, what was it, Real here that said, hey, for the price submission, like should be fair game.
Right. And I get it. Maybe they just don't want to catch them doing something bad or something, but it's like,
oh yeah, like have an Alec Baldwin moment, not like the more recent moment, but the old ones, where people would like record his phone calls and then slip the phone call, and everybody realizes that Alec Baldwin's really a mean guy.
Right. I mean, everybody has their reasons, but I just felt bad about it. But that was my first interaction of, oh, I guess you're not allowed to do this. And like last year when I met Johnny, someone in front of me or behind me was like doing some kind of like Twitter. The guy wasn't exactly right, but he's like some kind of Twitter, Instagram, something like, oh, hey, sorry, you can't have your phone on celebrity. I'm like, okay. So, Johnny was kind of like that.
So if you go to Nashville Comic-Con, no recording videos in the celebrity area. This is your notice.
Unless they give me a media pass, which they didn't give me, jerks. No, maybe next year. All right, Tyler. Well, we've ran a lot longer than I planned on running, which I feel like it's been good conversation. We've had
This has
not
been
a lot of
fun.
people come in, but it's been great. We've had, kind of shout out to Wanda, Real Life Refresh. So if you're not following him, follow him. Real nice guy, very caring about his YouTube community and just help building up others. Ranger Restoration Repair, the guy I go to anytime I break something. And of course, he made that beautiful lot for me. And he says he's working on some other things, so definitely do that. Let's see who else we had here. I know we had John. We have Miss Tanya. Thank you again for coming. I'm not sure I was still here. Numbers kind of show low, but that's okay. We got Josh. Thank you again for coming. If I've missed anybody, I'm sorry. I don't think I have though. Um, but yeah, man, how's your first stream? I mean, it's kind of winding down.
This is good. I want to do more. Is that bad?
It's the drug. It's the
Yeah.
drug.
No, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy getting to have these kinds of conversations, and certainly interacting with folks here in the chat as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's and meet a lot of new folks. Look at so if you're here, look, you can guarantee I'm going to come hunch down and follow your page. Because just like several people have said, I mean, this is a big community and it's a strong community. And so looking forward to being a part of it. I'm glad I finally took the step out, which I'm still in the corporate world. Yes, I still have a real job, but kind of took a step out to have some fun and do some things I like to do. So.
And that's all it is for people like you and me. I mean, we're not anywhere near monetized or anything. It's just for fun and building the community. And if we get there, we get there. If we don't, it is what it is. And it's not making friends and building this up.
And you get invites like this, right?
Yeah, I
Friday night
almost
at
missed
9.
that up.
Yeah, talking 90s comedies. Heck yeah.
We can talk 90s comedies. I don't know if I can make that one, but maybe you can. I'm sure you feel the knowledge on that. Thank you for the invite. Let's see. J-Lo, new to the chat. Thank you. Well, you know they are allowed to be human with us fans of these cons. Fortunately, it's the human element that ticks people off sometimes. Yeah, people are stupid. Oh my God, they cussed. They made extra. They just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
All right, guys, as we're winding down, just a reminder, if anyone's watching or rewatching, I do have an extra pair of tickets for Ranger Stop and Pop for a weekend pass. Send me a DM or email me at mid10geek@gmail.com. God, it's getting late. Or ask Tyler. He'll get you a hold of me. He'll get a hold of me. If you're not following Trippin For Toys, definitely follow Trippin For Toys at YouTube and Instagram. And I think we're on Facebook now.
Not yet.
No?
I
Not
got
yet.
to get Facebook up, but Instagram and YouTube are where I'm active. Instagram the most, yeah.
For sure, for sure. He's got the videos he's done is really good quality. I told him the first video he sent me that he done, is light years ahead of me. So we got great things coming from this man. All right, guys. Again, thank you all for coming. It's getting late.
Thank you, Matt, for the opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime. Like I tell everybody all the time, I work better when I have people to bounce off of because the first screen was just me talking, and that did not go well at all. But yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot,
right.
Community, and good seeing everybody.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, everybody. And let's see if I can do this without messing up. And I'm drawing a blank. What's my call off sign? Oh my gosh, what's my call off sign? Don't be afraid to unleash your geek and let your fandom shine. Good night, everybody.